everyone, gorgeous humans that you are out there. This is Michelle with Reclaim the Confident You. And I am a life coach, and within life, we talk about many different things in life. And we're going to go through something that my clients need all the time, especially my business owner clients, which that does become different, but we're going to show you some organization, and I'm actually going to do this over a 3-part series. So today we're going to organize our life of things that need to be filed, your paperwork, etc. And then we're going to walk into our second part of this series, which is going to include, I'll give you an example here. So this says Dad on the front, if you see that. And for those of you who know, I had lost my dad. Dad transitioned on to the good life is what I always say. So this one here, this is for the next part that we're going to do, but it's actually your life in 3-ring binder series. And that can really help organize you in different ways. And I'll even show you a shot of like in my office where I have things done that are 3-ring binder. And then the third part of this series is going to be your projects. So I actually have a booklet that I use for my projects. When redoing the bathroom, the entire front landscaping of my house, I had a plan in my head of how I wanted that project to be. So there are ways, you'll see my highlights and things that I've got here, and it shows you everything I wrote down, where I purchased, what I wanted, and I designed my own look for the front of my house of exactly what I wanted it to be. So we'll go through this project book with you too that can help you with a lot of things at home. And what happens is when we are not organized, we tend to keep clutter in our mind. And as you know, we are still converting over the show to, this is Reclaim the Confident You, to the Mindful Her Woman. So what happens is being mindful, no matter what, male, female, being mindful. Females out there, if there's something that you want to organize, do in your household, talk it over with your husband, partner, etc., feel free to do so. This is a way that works for me. You may have a way that completely works for you. So what happens is many of my clients too who have a business, there are things that can be scattered. They're hard to find. Where did we put that? Even though we do have technology, I'm going to show you how your technology works with these types of things as well. So in front of us is a hands-on box that is actually from the company NOK called Nokbox. And it happened to come up on my Facebook. And I had been looking for an organizational system, and this is the one that I chose for me. Nokbox, N-O-K, means next of kin. So what that means is if something happens to you in life, you know, as a coach, there's one thing that I always talk about. When my client hires me, they're hiring me to help them get organized, help them with their life, help declutter the mind. And I always say we have that lifeline, that dash. So within that dash in your life, be as organized as possible. Because if you're not organized, think about when you leave for work or somewhere that you're late for, and what happens? I can't find my keys. And there's nothing more frustrating. You start your day off on the wrong foot, that type of thing. What we want to do is be organized, because when you are, declutters the mind. When we have that off our mind, we know where to find papers, we know where things are, and then this helps your next of kin. If anything happens to you, something happens to a spouse, something happens to your parent, maybe you are the executor of a sibling, you want to have everything in order to know exactly how things go. And what happens is people tend to not want to do something that seems like, oh gosh, I don't want to talk about the end of my life. Let's face it, we all walked into life, we're all going to walk out here on earth. And to take care of everything that you have as easily as possible and for other people, but also to organize your own life, that's what I brought to you today. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. If you get one tip out of today, I'll be thrilled. In here, these are different files. And for instance, here are your directions. So this has directions for you, and it has tabs for each different subject that we've got, each different subject that we have here. And you will go through and see each subject. So this gives directions in here. It's all nicely typed for you, how this organization system works. Yes, you can type up on your own, label things, keep it in one place. So as I go through here, I will talk about different things that come up with the clients that I have. And this is for every client about their organization skills. It always comes up, trust me, no matter what we're talking about. So this starts out with directions on how to use this. And then I have some extra files in the front. So I have some important files in the front, those paper files. What I like about this is it has a lid that I have down here. Sorry, I'm gonna beep down here. It's got a lid, it's got Velcro. This Velcro, you're gonna put it right on here and it just attaches. And then this has handles. So what you're going to do, and no, I'm not affiliated with this company at all. What you're going to do is just pick it up and you can carry it with you, okay? And it's also a fire safety box. So what we have is, after directions, it shows you how to use it. Why would we have directions for how to use this? If someone has to come in, something happens to me, they need to know how to do all the paperwork, which is what I did for my dad. When my dad, passing away, of course, if you're in care of a parent, and for me, my parents are both gone. They've transitioned into the happy life, is what I say. And I took care of all of that. My brother has passed away. I was the only daughter left. So I took care of this. For my husband, his parents, my in-laws, are now in assisted living. Anything that helps organize is really smart to do. And I feel that this is for every age, and the fact that you can be in college, there are things that you need to organize here for you. When I open this up, the very first tab that's here, it says primary residence. So this is a main tab that I have for primary residence. And I will flip this around, I'll keep it here, and what does it say? Mortgage or lease. So with their mortgage information, if I pull out this paper, it's going to say things like your property address, purchased or leased, joint owners, residence, and in this folder, a copy of your statements for any second mortgages, property tax, any closing, refi documents, all the documents that you need are here. And you can fill this out and you can update it as life goes on. So as you're updating this, and then in the back, this says person in charge of this checklist. For instance, if you have 3 children and everybody gets along, that is a very big subject, but everyone gets along, everyone is going to help with mom and dad. In here, you may say out of the 3 kids, you're going to take care of this, you're taking care of this, you're taking care of that. And everyone agrees. So it does get sticky. I have had clients who life has gotten sticky once we have come to the point of healthcare. I want the fabulous lamp that grandma had, and then great grandma had that, and you're splitting things up. Come from a place of love out of everything that you possibly can. Everything's calm, everything's happy. We don't want our children fighting over material things, right? So that is what this is about. This is for them splitting things up for you. And if you're my age, of course, many of my friends have already lost their parents, or of course they're at that age that we're talking assisted living, etc., which even goes into hospice. We just have, these are the phases that we go through. So in that lifeline, we're going to have ups and downs, and when we have those downs, what we need to do is how to deal with them. So this is to help you declutter. So for instance, everything that's in here, mortgage or lease, so here's utilities, maintenance and repair. Everything that you do, maintenance and repair in your home, you want to have this listed on here, because if something were to happen to you, there may be something maintenance that's open, you're going to sell the home for your parents, anything like that that you're leaving. But I utilize this for my own, because maintenance and repair in my home for this year is going to do what? It's going to go onto my taxes. People in your life, and this is an example. Person in charge of the checklist. Same, jot down notes about people that you're connected with your home, maybe neighbors who have a key to your house, etc. Your children don't automatically know all of these types of things. And believe it or not, yes, something could happen to 2 parents at one time or within a month of each other. It happens a lot. It's happened with my clients' parents a lot. Again, siblings, maybe you have had a best friend your whole life. She's not married and you are the executor of her estate, etc. That happens. So I come to you out of experience in my own life. That's what I do with my clients. If I'm talking to you about a subject, it's because in life I've been through it. It's been in my lifeline. And this has been in my lifeline. So home inventory, other information that you can jot down here, sprinkler zone map, electrical panel, AV wiring, anything like that. For instance, if you were to go to sell my house, there is a gas line that runs in the middle of my backyard because that gas line goes through to heat the swimming pool in the back. Yes, I have a file under swimming pool because if I need anything about that, it's in there. Here's my lawn care company. Here's all the swim pool things that I have. We come to vehicles. How does someone know about your vehicle? Is mom and dad's vehicle paid off? Who do they bank with? What do I have to do? Year, make, model, everything is here for you to fill out for your next of kin or for your spouse, for anyone who needs to know. And for you overall, do you know the make and model of your year of your vehicle? Sometimes I don't. So lien holder, insurance, registration, storage. And you're letting your children or anyone know that, or you have this for your parents or siblings, you're letting them know if there's anything that you don't want to keep in here, you're telling them where it is. And then you put this box where it's a safekeeping, and then they can go to the box. And of course, you're going to go over this with everyone. But again, this runs your life, okay? Bank accounts. Bank account, bank account, bank account. There's 4 of these that are provided. When I purchased this, I didn't want to go in and create all my own labels. I wanted it done. I'm a very organized person, but I didn't want to do that because I have gone through everything that's needed to be done for my dad, all of his medical things, all the phone calls that I had to make, the smallest things that you don't even think of. And the funeral home, going through a funeral home, they're very good about helping you with that. There's a wonderful folder that's provided, who to call, etc. Money moving apps. So this one, laws and policies about these types of accounts vary, and many apps do not have a formal process for closing the account for the deceased. For example, my dad had an account that also has my name on it. We took care of that years ago because you want to know what's happening coming up. And as I'm talking about this, there's something I really want you to understand is you will find literally, I'm not kidding, for instance, I have a client who makes multi-millions of dollars, okay? And I won't tell you who the client is, but because we are a global company at this point. But when it came to the question, okay, do you have 3 children? Do you have a will, executor of estate, healthcare, everything set in for your wishes? No. And what happens is doctors, even lawyers who take care of your will, do not have their own will set up. Sometimes it seems very scary to think of something like that. Get it done, get it in place. If you have to revamp something later on down the road, you can. But get it done. Get your wills done, get your power of attorney done, power of health care. If you are someone that something happens to you, do you want to stay on a breathing machine or do you want to say, I don't want to do that? This is my personal choice of what I want. And talk about this with your family. You cannot believe how many families do not talk about this. So not only organizing our life every day, get the declutter out of our head, know where everything is in one place or where to go get it. You could have a safe deposit box, but somebody needs to know where to go get it and how. So also in here, you can see we'll have one that says insurance. So all your different insurance that you have going on, be it the house insurance, car insurance, etc. Health will come separate actually in here. So this one is for your house, in your vehicle, homeowner, life, health, Medicaid, long-term disability. But within that, it also breaks it down more for you. Next are your investments. Okay, kids, do we know what my investments are? If I'm investing in Vanguard, does my child know how to get a hold of that? And this lists everything out here for you, for all of your investments, for them to know what is what. And again, if you don't have things set up, this leaves your next of kin, whoever that is, in a position that can become a paper nightmare because they are already grieving the loss of you, okay? It's a different life for them. We want to leave everyone as easy as it can be for a transition in life. Major credit cards. On the major credit card, this is actually quite detailed. List your major bank cards. Drop in statements instead of writing everything out. Just be sure that it's updated, new cards, close accounts, etc. Then everyone knows how to close things out for you. So that is taken care of. Person in charge of the checklist. You may have one person that takes care of everything. You may have one child out of 6 that you made the executor, you made them in charge of all of it, and everyone is okay with that. Don't go making lots of changes and not telling anyone in the family and telling your family, because that causes major upset. Personal debt. Any personal debt, which means a personal loan. Maybe you've gone to the credit union. I know that ours here in my town is wonderful. And you've gone to the credit union, maybe you got a small loan for something, whatever it was. Someone knows how to go take care of that. Because what's going to happen too is if you have an estate left over, which is scary to talk about, but and I'm not a professional, you need to go to a professional, but if you have an estate, etc., it has to go through probate unless you create a trust. And an attorney will talk to you about that and how to take care of it. Just do it and take care of it. Things in here, your current employment, who to get a hold of, your boss. Side income, maybe you have a little side hustle you've got going on, a little side business. Retirement income, other incomes, maybe you own property. I have a client who they are looking at a lake house. So that's going to be more paperwork to hold on to, right? Assets that you have. Dependents. Here are for your pets, which I have my puppies. And sadly, our puppy, who is 16 and a half, who I love dearly, passed away 3 weeks ago. But I have from both my puppies, they were from the same litter, everything in here. And we'll talk about binders and things about medical in the next part series. So we're going to talk about those 3-ring binders and how to take care of your loved ones if they're in the hospital, how to keep a 3-ring for your pets, and just keep your life very organized. Ancestry shows friends, it shows sentimental. If there's something from your parents sentimental, keep track of all things that are very sentimental to you. This way you're not giving something away out of the family that you had no idea mom loved that, right? But it was something to her. So there may be someone who wants that. Again, find importance, sentimental value, distribute the item as appropriate. It's in here so everybody knows. Education, career, meaning your transcripts, your diplomas, any past employment that you want to hang on to. Again, your health, current medical records. Yes, my records are on my chart. However, when I go to the doctor, they print me out any medications I got, my chart, etc. I throw the most recent one in here so I know. Then it's also got written down when my upcoming appointments are. Usually it's already in my calendar on my phone. However, it doesn't hurt for me to have this and I know what is what. Eye doctor, here's a great example. Zenni Optical was their cheap eyeglasses. So I was ordering from Zenni and I'm like, in order to do so, I have to have my eye prescription. And so I'm someone who has like 4 different pairs of glasses. So I was adding on to Zenni, right here is my eye prescription. I don't have to worry about it. Past medical records, Medicaid, anything that's Medicare, Medicaid for your parents, you know where it is. Go through this as a family, hang on to everything for yourself. Subscriptions and memberships, these things will need canceled. If I don't know that mom has 5 magazines ordered, how else am I going to know to cancel everything until we're waiting and things come into the mail? Who do I get a hold of? These are prepared for your children. And if you are helping your parent, etc., you're doing this with them. Social media, other accounts, and then right here are your legal and tax. So taxes and anything that's legal you have going on, and then we get to the big one, estate documents. In these estate documents, here's a will or trust. Again, a trust helps you kind of skip the probate stuff, but that'll be explained to you. Medical directives. So under this medical directive, what does it say? These documents are looking for if the owner of this box is incapacitated and cannot make medical decisions for himself or herself. A living will or advanced healthcare directive, medical power of attorney. It lists it nicely typed for you right here, what you need. And then if you, of course, don't know what you're doing, you don't know how that works, go see an attorney. Make the call. Just do it. Living will, advanced care, medical power, This is the person that's designated everything is good to go. Because when someone gets into, you don't know if someone's in an accident, it's the end of life, you just want it to be easy. And I'm thrilled that for the most part, it was easy for me. And again, anything that can organize your life to make things easier through any kind of grieving process. And this one is, forgive me, financial power of attorney. Again, you could name a separate child or what have you. End of life ceremonies. Maybe you want to be cremated and someone might not want you to be cremated, but this is your wish and this is what you want to do. Those instructions are in here and how you take care of things like that. It's also going to list in here, which is nice, and you might not want to talk about it, of course. But what I love is this does everything for me. It just doesn't mean, oh, it's my end of life, but it's everything in one spot. It's no longer in the credenza, downstairs in the safe, upstairs in another cabinet. It's all together and it's organized and it's written out. So, for instance, burial arrangement, casket, headstone, urn, medical research if you're donating your organs, your services, eulogy, obituary. Some people like to write their own out. This is every place for you to get everything done, right? So in here, I also have extra things like, believe it or not, I have a Christmas planner when it's Christmas time, everything that's done, any warranties, etc. on the gazebo, things like that I have in here. And even we bought a new mattress and there's a warranty, so any kind of warranty that way. And in the back, any kind of extra keys that you have, it also comes with a holder. Everyone knows where the keys are to everything. Okay, keep an extra copy. And anything that is a protected document, you want protected. You don't want it to, your basement floods, this is down there, it's protected in here. Vacation time, my husband and I, we travel to Canada, Niagara on the Lake. If you've been there, it's beautiful. They have brick roads and carriages, and it's just beautiful. So we stay at a spa resort there, and I keep the information because we like to go every couple of years. We like to travel to the Grand Cayman. I have info in here for my travel. And then anyone who has like student loan debt, etc., on your own children, you have that. Any military service, extra things like that you would want, especially if you have the VA. My dad was part of the VA. Especially when you're older, you have to love the military. You get prescriptions that are a lower price. So in all of this, if you can see, this is a way to organize your life. And when we talk on series part 2, again, I'm going to explain to you about 3-ring binders, medical records, how to handle if a parent, child, anyone is in the hospital, different tabs, what to do to keep that organized. And it's in a 3-ring. You don't have to worry about going anywhere. You just need your 3-ring. And then on series 3, again, we're going to talk about projects in your life and how to keep track of all of those and do projects easily, who you used, who you utilized. And then, of course, when you do a project and you have receipts, where are those going to go? Right in here. And that way you've got it for tax write-off. Okay, I hope that this helped you in some sort of way, but organization is just so very important in your life. The easier that you make your life all the way through, anything that helps, and it's a tip, and it just, I worked on this for, an hour a day. I don't take a lot of times like, oh, this week I have to do everything. You do what works for you, but once it's in place, you are good to go. Okay, I look so forward to seeing you for series part 2. Again, we're going to talk about the binders and how to organize anything in the hospital, which I had that with my dad, and I actually learned that a long time ago. But stay decluttered, stay mind-free, be mindful of everything that you're doing, and I love this tip. I would love for you to come onto Facebook. You can reach me at Michelle Merrix. And I can also then put you into my private group, which there's always more tips and things to do to keep your life going, and this is part of life. So let's stay organized. I look so forward to seeing you on our next part 2 series, Organize for Success. Thank you. Have a great day.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.